Hey everybody, Superfluous Jay here, playing some Kerbal Space Program, and we're starting a new series. There's a lot to go over in a short amount of time. Well, in a long amount of time, really. It's a YouTube Let's Play. What do you expect? But we're going to start a new save, and we're going to call this Kiwi. YT for YouTube. It's going to be a career save. It's going to use my flag, as it always does. Oh, not that one. That's the old flag. Let's accept my new flag. And we're going to make it hard mode, but we're going to make it harder mode. First of all, we're going to make it slightly less hard because I am going to allow reverting and quick loading. I'm sorry. I don't think that that's fun gameplay. We're also going to go into advanced, and we're going to have part upgrades enabled, which is really important. And that's actually it. Everything else is, I believe, going to be the same. I thought there was one other thing I wanted. Other launch sites. That's what I want. Although that's not super important. We'll find out why later. So why do I call this harder mode? Let's go ahead and accept this and start. Yeah, I already started a save and it didn't work out. My audio recording was bad. It wasn't the save itself. But we're trying a new run through it here. Why it's called harder mode here is if you go into the VAB, and I'm going to just grab this. Let's say got it to him. Throw some science on here. That guy and that guy, and let's go ahead and just launch this thing. Get it out on the launch pad so you can see what the problem is here. And the problem is, other than this long load times, because I'm running environmental visual enhancements, the problem is if I say log pressure data, we get 0 science for that. If we say log temperature, we get 0 science for that. And if we get a crew report, yeah, we get 0 science for that. We basically get no science for anything on the ground and anything in the water. And Kerbin, Moon, and Minmus, all the other science is slightly reduced. So that, along with it being hard mode, that's why it's harder mode, because we got to go out there in order to actually do anything with our people. Second of all, you'll notice that I didn't have what you would expect in the VAB. I didn't have a Mark 1 capsule. I didn't have other things that you would expect. That's because I have a different tech tree installed than any other, than the default, and that is the Kiwi tech tree. That's why this is called Kiwi. The Kiwi tech tree, you start out with unkerballed flight, except for you can have planes. And then you have to very slowly unlock things like batteries, battery upgrades, other science stuff, fuel tanks and engines. All these things cost a very low amount of science. And then as we go in the tree, they cost 10 and then 30 and then more and more and more. So the gist here is that it's a totally different experience than it is otherwise. In addition to that, though, the big thing that I really like is these upgrades. The batteries you buy here aren't very good. As you upgrade them, they get better and better and better. So these batteries at the beginning that are garbage, as we unlock upgrades, they get better, so they're useful into the end of the game. Maybe not batteries so much, but things like probe cores and stuff. Even the Stay Putnik, I think, is actually useful in the end game. I haven't proven that to myself yet, but I will eventually. Excuse me. Thirdly, and hopefully lastly, submit your names. You give me a name, give me a gender of your Kerbal, male or female, and I will throw you in there. You'll just go in the hopper, and whoever needs to be hired next gets that name. So the big 4 are going to stay, and then the first person who I need a Kerbal for just gets the first name, and then you get launched and head out into space. So anyway, what are we doing here? We are... Oh, I also have contract packs installed. A bunch of different ones. I don't have a lot of stock contracts. I have a bunch of custom ones. I have some stock contracts, but not all of them. Right now, all we're going to be able to do is get some science. And this is get science and recover something or transmit. So we're going to accept that. What we're going to do here is we're going to be transmitting science because we don't have the ability to recover flown science because we don't have any parachutes. But we also don't have the ability to do science on the ground. So what we're going to have to do here is throw a probe core down, put this little garbage SRB at the bottom of it, throw some science on the guy here. Now we also don't have. Oh, you know what? I'm actually not going to bother with this science. I'm just going to do the thermometer because we also don't have any batteries. If you look here, we have no electrical anything. So we're not going to be able to transmit all the science. We're only going to be able to transmit a fraction of the science that we're gonna have out there. So I'm going to do this and slap this antenna on here, and then we're going to launch this thing in the air, and we're going to take this reading and transmit it. I'm going to lower the thrust limiter and the amount of solid fuel in the tank, and that way we'll still have a ton of Delta V. It's ridiculous, but it at least won't be quite so ridiculous as a full solid rocket booster is. We're also going to, I guess this doesn't actually have any settings, which is amusing to me. And you might notice a whole bunch of different things. I'll be talking about them as we go. There's just too much to cover in one episode. But we're going to just launch this guy. And I am going to right-click the thermometer here. Be ready to do it. Let's go ahead and lock it just to make sure. And then in 3, 2, 1, we're going to launch. And we're going to log the temperature, and we're going to transmit it. Not enough electric charge. I screwed it up. I forgot I had to enable the probe core. I'm actually going to revert this flight. I'm not going to do this every time. Most of the time, if I screw up, I'm not going to bother reverting a flight. But this time I'm going to, just because this is so stupid. I'm going to say require complete is a no. That's an important thing. So I'll transmit some of the science. So we're going to log the temperature and transmit it. Now I get some of it. We run out, but the important thing is we've completed this contract. We have, it doesn't actually say what we've done, but if you look here on the contracts list, we have returned a first piece of scientific data, and we have launched a vessel into the air. Now this vessel is destined for a very sad landing. There's the monolith that we will be reaching eventually here. Let's go ahead and go back to the Space Center and call our first mission a success. Okay, so first mission success. Now we've got several other contracts, including the Anomaly Surveyor. This is going to help us get a little more science because our science is so limited in the thing. Plus, it's fun to find the anomalies. These are all just cash rewards, and the first one is the Island Airfield, which we could basically do at any time, but I don't feel like making a plane right now. We've also got bases and stations, which isn't going to be happening anytime soon. We've also got the option to orbit Kerbin and reach for the stars. Now, reach for the stars means get into space, which is actually a little bit harder with this pack than with regular packs. So I'm going to hold off on that for now. We've also got this perform science around the KSC, which would be pretty easy to do, but it's also a little boring. Let's see what we got here. Test the Juno landed at Kerbin. That's basically free if we turn a Juno on there. And then we've got all these surveys. So I'm not going to bother that. And I just said I wasn't going to do this, but I think I am going to do it because it's so simple to do. And it's going to get us a whole bunch of money, which is going to come in handy as time goes on. So let's go ahead and select this perform experiments around the KSC. And let's go into the spaceplane hangar and make ourselves a science car. Now, one thing that you've probably noticed that I haven't mentioned is down below I've got a little keyboard down here. I've got all my letter keys, and as I type, they show you what I'm typing. I can also scroll the mouse and left and right click the mouse, and it shows you what I'm doing. Which the nice thing about that is let's close RCS build aid. The nice thing about that is I don't have to tell you which keys I'm hitting to make things done. If I do something and you don't know how I did it, you just watch and pay attention to what the let's go ahead and take this and flip it around. Oops, I hit the wrong thing. There we go. See, like that. I didn't have to tell you I hit Alt to copy that. I didn't have to tell you I hit Shift to drag my thing around. You just know because you're looking at it on the thing. But anyway, put this on the front and this on the back. I'm hoping that that'll be really useful for, especially for beginners, but really for anybody who would like to see, what it is I'm doing. Speaking of what it is I'm doing here is I'm going to make a rocket car here that will allow me to do the science all around Kerbal Space Center. And what we need to do here is we need to see this thing We need a telemetry report, so we actually do need a probe core, which is a bit of a pain right now because we don't have any structural components. And right now, if I try to grab this probe core, there's nowhere to put it because I'm using up every node. And if I go, well, I'll just take this off and put it here, then now there's no node to put this on. Now, one thing I could do, and you know what, I think I am going to do that rather than try to, let's see, mark 0. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a mark 0 fuselage. I'm going to make it 2, and I'll actually put it forward a bit. And then we'll just put these guys on here. Now, we don't need any fuel in here because we have a million times more fuel than we really need anyway. But that'll allow me to get air intakes on this guy, and then that'll make things a little bit better here. Also, I think I'm going to take the fuel out of this back ones to pull the center of gravity closer to the middle of the plane here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take fixed landing gear. We're going to put one as close to the front here as we can, one as close to the back here as we can, and it's upside down, which is annoying. I guess it's because this is upside down, which is also annoying, but I think I'm going to, oops, that's not what I want. I'm going to flip it around like that. And then last but not least, we're going to do the same thing here. And that's ridiculous looking, but it'll get the job done. And what we got here is we have the ability to collect a telemetry report at the administration building, collect a telemetry report at the VAB, collect a temperature at mission control, and an atmospheric pressure at administration. If we just go to administration, VAB, and mission control, we'll get all of these things and we'll complete the contract. Simple, easy, no problem. Kick Jeb out, put Bob in because he's the scientist. Why not? Let's go ahead and save this thing. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. And okay, and here we are. Let's go ahead and hit the space bar to get this guy going. And let's bring up our contract here. What do we got now? We got another contract. Oh, test the Juno. I actually forgot we had that. That's pretty funny. Let's go ahead and hit X. I don't want to get too much over 20 meters per second here. But we need to go to administration, VAB, and mission control. Well, mission control is just on the other side of the spaceplane hangar here. So let's do that first. Then we'll hit the VAB. Then we'll head over to the administration building, and then we'll get these things done. There's mission control right there. So that'll give me a chance to talk about the fact that I just blew up my engine. Okay, let's let's revert this to the spaceplane hangar and see what potentially the problem is. I think maybe, I honestly don't know. I guess our wheels are too low. Did I use the wrong wheels? Because I've done this before. Fixed landing gear, no. And then is this one bigger? This one is bigger. Well, there's our problem right there. Let's go ahead and get these guys gone. Because like I said, I've done this all before because I had to re-record everything. My plane looked a little bit different, or my car, I should say, looked a little bit different, but it had the same basic idea here. So let's go ahead and save this and launch it and try again. Okay. We have gotten our thing again. We're going to have to right-click this and keep it out because Force Science is not going to collect the science automatically because it's worth 0. So we got good ground clearance now, so we should be fine. So Force Science isn't going to collect the science. It only runs if it's over a certain threshold, and that threshold, I'm not sure what it is, but it's definitely higher than 0. So let's get around here. We can just turn. Now, we're using the reaction wheels to turn right now because we don't have anything better. It's just the way it is. As long as the engine's running, we're going to get some. Perform all science. Keep. Get us going. Yeah, we have a very bad turning circle, but that's fine. Let's perform all science again. Keep. And then go over here. We got to go around the astronaut complex, and then we got to do these things at the administration building, which is pretty easy here. I think I'm going to hit the brakes slightly early, so we'll have to go a little bit farther. I didn't want to cause any problems with driving around here, but let's go ahead and perform all science. Keep. break again. Now we should have everything except for recovering, which we do. So let's recover. And we got it. We don't get, we got 0.1 science from all that because you can't set sciences to 0. So I set it to, I think, 1/1000th, and we got enough to get 1/100th or whatever that is, 1/10 of the science. So I guess it's not 0, but hey, it's pretty darn close. We have 7.9, which is a frustrating amount because these are all worth 4. But I think the first thing I want is going to be batteries, and also the mystery goo is fantastic because we need to be transmitting home science from our sounding rockets here in order to progress here. So let's go ahead and do this. We're not going to get very far here because we. You know what? I'm actually going to back out for a second. I'm gonna check my contracts because one thing I can do is I can cheese the part testing contracts if we get lucky. Spark, Juno, Weasley, and the landing gear. So no, we don't. We can't cheese yet. Sometimes you get a contract here that is test parachute, which is a nice contract. If we're lucky, we'll get one of those soon, and then we can pick that up in order to use that parachute on a ship. We could pick up Reach for the Stars. We are eventually going to be going into space, and it's going to be sooner rather than later. Also, I think that might refresh our contracts. No, it didn't. We could also, we have another field research to do more experiments around the KSC. These are always just there to get some money. I'm probably not going to use them that much, but I'm going to do them. So we got Reach for the Stars, though. We're not going to be doing these surveys, at least not anytime soon. So let's go ahead and make our first real sounding rocket that's going to transmit some data. And the idea here is going to be, it's again going to be a very simple rocket. I'm actually going to, let's go ahead and pick up Untitled Spacecraft. Let's call this Science 1. Because he's going to be a very simple science returner. He's going to shoot up into space. He's going to give us some data. Let's go ahead and put 2 mystery goos on this guy, and this thermometer, and the barometer. Is this the bar? Yeah, barometer. I know my science. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to transmit 2 of these and 1 of each of these from in the air, and that'll get us all that science. Now, in order to do that, we're going to need some batteries, and I don't know exactly how many batteries to put on this guy, so let's put 4. Hopefully 4 will be enough. Let's go ahead and save it and launch it, and let's go ahead and right click this guy and lock him so we can actually. I just realized I don't want to. Oh, you know what? I do want to do all science. So yeah, we could just lock one of these guys. And then 3, 2, 1, launch, and we'll say perform all science, and we're going to say transmit. Let's see how our data goes. Yes, transmit the data. Transmit. We have plenty of electric charge still. Transmit that, and then temperature scan. Transmit that, and then 1 more mystery goo. Yes, transmit that. 3, 4, and it actually worked. Oh, nope, not enough electric charge. So if we're lucky, whatever mystery goo still has data in it, which I can't see because we're out of electric charge, but maybe it'll survive. I cannot see it surviving, but maybe it'll survive and we'll get really lucky. And the answer is no, it did not survive. Okay, but we got a decent amount of science from that. So let's go back to the Space Center and see what we got. 12 whole science. Well, with 10, we can get this parachute, which I think might be what's worth it. However, we got all the low science we can get. I'm actually considering getting better solid fuel boosters. I'm also strongly considering this decoupler here. The nice thing about this decoupler is it obviously allows us to stage things. Also, that'll get us the spark and this little fuel tank here, which I think is worth it. So sadly, we're going to do this, and then we're gonna go for this. So sadly, we can't afford that right now. So let's go into mission control, see if we got another part testing contract. We do have this thing, haul this into flight above Kerbin. We're not going to get that high, I don't think. at least not in the immediate future. So let's go ahead and do another sounding rocket. And we saw before that this wasn't enough to transmit 2 mystery goos. However, that was when we were transmitting the other stuff as well. So I think now we'll be able to transmit 2 mystery goos with this. So also, we didn't put all the solid fuel in this. So if we do this, and I wonder if we do this, and let's actually put 6 on here. And can we put these on in a way? No, we can't. I don't know why it's so important to me that they don't touch the antenna, but it is. So we'll put them on like this, and then bring the mystery goos up a little bit more. And then I'm going to put this science back on, because my thought here, let's put him here and him. Oops. I only want 1 of each, because I'm thinking we can get up to the upper atmosphere, I think, with this, the high atmosphere data. I mean, 2,000 is a lot. Here's another mod I haven't installed, and I actually don't know where it came from. This might actually come from the Kiwi mod. I really don't know. But you can select the grain geometry, I guess. I don't know enough about SRBs to know what these things are called. But this one here, like the basic SRB in the game, just goes at 100% until it's out. This guy here goes up to, he starts at 154% and then goes down to 86 and then slowly fades off until it gets to 0. The nice thing is that means that we're going to start with 4.5 Gs of acceleration. So we could actually knock this thing down to about there. Maybe a little bit higher, because then he's going to knock down to 85% of that, which is going to be about 2. So he's still going to be going a pretty good clip. And then we'll leave it at that. Now, the nice thing here is that means I screwed up my batteries. I wanted 5. Oh, 5 isn't an option. I thought 5 was an option. Okay, well, you know what? I'll put the batteries on like this so they don't clip that way. There we go. And then now we should have enough to take all these readings in the high atmosphere and then hopefully get that. So let's go ahead and save Science 1. Well, I guess we'll still call it Science 1 because I forgot to rename it to Science 2. And we're going to bring this guy up, pin him to the thing, and 3, 2, 1, launch. And we're going a lot slower than we did before, and we're already flipping around. I was kind of hoping that all this drag on the back would work it. So let's go ahead and perform all science. This is useless. So this whole thing is useless. Reset, 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 reset. That's sad. I'm going to be lame and revert to vehicle assembly. I thought for sure those batteries would have kept him going straight. So let's force him to go straight by putting on some fins. And I'm going to drag these fins down. So they're like that. I think that looks pretty cool. Doesn't look like it clips. And ideally, they're going to keep him from flipping over. So let's try that. Okay, so far so good. Looks like that fixes it. Okay, we're ready to perform all science once we get to our apoapsis here. Let's go ahead and crank up the speed. Maybe we'll get lucky and get into space, although I wouldn't want to get into space. He's already slowing down his thrust, so we're not going to get into space. Hopefully we'll reach 20 kilometers. We didn't reach 20 kilometers. So let's, hopefully this is high. It is high, which is nice. Kerbin's up for atmosphere. Let's go ahead and transmit this little dinky 0.8 science. Let's watch this. Let's transmit 1.1 science. Let's transmit 4.3 science. Let's transmit 5.4 science. And another 5.4 science. Yes, transmit the data. And we're good. Let's perform all science again, just to make sure that we don't have anything to do. And then this guy's going to go down like a dart. We might get temperature data from over the water. So let's go ahead and try this. Perform all science. Reset, reset, reset. Yeah, no, it's over shores. Even though it's over the water, it still counts as the shores. So we're not going to get any extra temperature science. And it dies. Definitely worth it, though. Let's head back to the Space Center. And we got 20 science, which is fantastic. That means we can get decouplers and parachutes, which is fantastic. That means we can go to space. But that's going to be next time. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. If you want to be a name in this show, submit a name and submit a gender. You can submit 2 different names if you want to have one of each gender. Don't submit a profession. You're going to become whatever I need at the time. And also, if you like this video, please like this video on YouTube. It helps me out a lot. If you want to be a subscriber, or you want to help me out a lot, or both, become a subscriber. I'm Superfluous J, and I will, as always, talk at you later.